Sweet. Good evening, everybody. Keith Engle here for TGI Sports Talk's College Football Huddle. We got a little delay here. I don't know what's going on, so let me turn this off. See how that does. Hello, everybody. How come I still got a delay? What's going on here? Can you guys see that? Cut the music. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I got a little buffering going on here. I don't know why. We're going to try to close a couple things down here and see if we get better. Are we better now? I'm still delayed. I wonder how come. See who's with us already. Daddy Fuller's with us. Good evening. I know we got the draft in almost 59 minutes, so we're going to have a short show today. I guess I'm not buffering anymore. I don't know. I look like I was. Maybe my mouth was moving in funny directions. Good to have you with us. AC, Danny, good evening. We'll probably only go an hour today or maybe a little bit longer. We got to have the draft. So I'll open up my draft room and maybe make my first pick. We'll end the show hopefully in an hour or so. I know a lot of you guys are going to be in the TGI Sports Talk NFL draft, fantasy football draft, and going to be a long night, 16 teams and a lot of guys to pick. So get ready to settle in for a little bit. Today we'll talk about some college football for an hour-ish. I know you guys will be getting ready. Somebody remind me at the 30-minute mark to open up the draft room and see where my draft pick is anyway. Because I might cue some guys up and go a little longer. I don't know, depending on who's with us. It looks like I'm in sync. Thank you, Michael. I think when I started the show, it looked like I was off a little bit. I don't know. But I appreciate the heads up. Welcome, everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Quick shout out to Ralph Williams at RW Media. Check his stuff out, including the Sports Corner every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern with Smoking Jim Frazier. Check out all the groups. You'll see him scrolling across the bottom there. Some of our favorites, including John Gonzalez, who may join us. I saw him on the Unprofessional Professional Sports Show a little while ago from the Sports Authorities. We won't talk about Greg Rawlings today because Greg's all baseball, but one of the great groups we share too, Bottom Line Sports, Flo and the gang. Flo, stay safe wherever you are. He's on active duty. Let's Talk Sports, where Flo and the gang does their podcasting. And Golf Buds, sports of all sorts. There's some of our favorites, but there's hundreds that let us share this and all my shows. Also, check out myself with Jack Hirsch on Jack and Keith's Weekend Playbook. We'll be on Friday at 8 a.m. and we'll have the MLB update at 3 p.m. Some news on the Sunday show. We're gonna change the time. I was asked by Brian and James. James wasn't necessarily part of the conversation, but I think he was part of a conversation about me to stay for an hour on the Big Football Show on Sunday mornings on National Streaming Sports. And I did agree to do it. I had moved the show originally. Originally, we did the show 9 to 11, and I ended up having to run out of the house to get to where I went to meet my guys to watch football and whatnot. So I moved it to 8:30, but I'm going to move it back to 9 o'clock. Good for you, Danny. So anyway, the Sunday Stream of Consciousness will now start at 9 a.m. We're going to go. We may try an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Maybe we can do the 2 hours. We'll certainly do 2 hours this week. And I'll see how quickly I can wrap things up and get myself out of the house. This will be a practice run this week. So I'll post it on the sites. We'll be starting at 9 a.m. now on Sunday morning. So we'll do the full hour. Or we'll do a full hour, almost a full hour, with the guys on the Big Football Show. Or whatever we're calling it these days. I'm not even sure. But it is simulcast. I do share that to TGI Sports Talk, and a lot of you guys do join that in the morning. So with college football starting and pro football coming, they'd asked me to do an extra 30 minutes, and I thought I could do it. So anyway, who else is with us today? We got a draft coming up, as we talked about, in just an hour. So we're probably going to go an hour or so tonight, but we'll see how we go. There's Danny saying hello. CA's with us. Speaking of football, we got a draft in just a little bit. CA put it together. Thank you so much, CA, for doing all that work and getting everything set. Unfortunately, Paul Spada had to drop out because of another commitment tonight. And Brian from the non-professional professional sports show is joining the league and will be in with us. AC, the draft order is available 30 minutes before the draft when the draft room opens. So it's randomly picked by Yahoo's computer algorithms or whatever they are. And then there's John Gonzalez we talked about from the Sports Authorities. Make sure you check him out. I am live from the Joe Namath Sports Museum in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. Now, the stadium you see behind me is in Cherry Hill, Massachusetts, or Boston, part of Boston. Boston College's home field. We do call John the GQ of all the administrators, admins of groups on Facebook. John is the man. John sent me a voice message, by the way, on Messenger. After one of the shows when he and I were going back and forth. I love John to death. I really do. And sometimes, hey, look we're very opinionated people, right? That's why we do what we do. And for whatever reason, John, the message just threw me off. Your voice, I didn't expect your voice to be exactly what it was. It was great. You've got a great voice. You should be doing your own show, by the way. But for whatever reason, it's not what I had in my head. I don't know why. It's weird like that, right? All right, guys, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Week 0 went by us. Any feedback you guys have from that? I think Iowa State, Kansas State, interesting. Isn't going to affect anything one way or the other, I don't think, in the Big 12 or the playoff. I still like Kansas State to win the Big 12. They played a sloppy game. I thought both teams played a sloppy game. Iowa State really didn't protect Beck the first 3 quarters. They protected him in the fourth quarter, and he had a couple of big touchdowns. Kansas State had some good moments. Their quarterback, whose name is escaping me all of a sudden, it'll come to me in a second, Avery Johnson, played well in spurts and bad in spurts. He had a couple of really good drives and long touchdown passes, but I don't think we learned a lot here. I thought there was some interesting games. I think Hawaii winning over Stanford, although Stanford isn't a great football team. Anytime a G5 wins over a Power 4 school, I think that's news. And Hawaii was the favorite here. I think that's a good win for them. And UNLV survives the scare, which is important because they do have aspirations to be that group of 5 selection to the playoff scene this year, the 12-team playoff. And I think they get it. I predicted them to get that spot, and a loss there would have been very tough to overcome, I think. In fact, there's a sleeper game on the schedule this week. We know the schedule this week is huge. Maybe the best week 1 ever. We've got 3 top 10 matchups. We've got new coaches in new places. Bill Belichick's debut. Barry Odom at Purdue. Scott Frost back at UCF for a second run. Bronco Mendenhall at Utah State. Jake Dickert takes over at Wake Forest after doing very good things at Washington State. There's some really good games, not to mention Michael Vick and I know some of us do not like the name Michael Vick, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention he has his debut at Norfolk State, and also Eddie George moving up to FBS territory at Bowling Green. So we'll see how that goes for him. So some interesting stories to look at this weekend, and a game to watch out for. There's a couple of games. We'll talk about the top 10 matchups in a second. There's a couple of games outside of that to kind of watch. If you're a real football fan, you know these games are important. Boise State, number 25, going to South Florida. Both these teams are predicted to win their conferences, the Mountain West and what conference? Bear with me a second. Who's South Florida playing these days? Is it Conference USA? No, it can't be. Where are they? I hate it when I forget. Sunbelt, right? No. Not the Sunbelt either. Where the hell are they playing this year? Somebody help me out. Keith's having one of those brain fart moments. Oh, stupid me. They're in the American Conference. No longer the AAC, according to the marketing department there. They're in the American Conference. Tulane's one of the favorites. It was South Florida, too, one of the favorites. This is a big matchup because this could be a game that could determine the group of 5 selection down the road. If both those teams were to win their conferences, that could be the tiebreaker. So that could be interesting. The other game I like, a possible upset with a 1A team playing an FBS team. South Dakota will play Iowa State. Iowa State, after that big win last week, traveling intercontinentally. Is that a word? Just call it jet lag on the way back. This could be a letdown week for Iowa State. And watch South Dakota being a live dog in this game this week. I'll give you my picks from our pool this week as well in a little bit before we wrap it up. So it's all legit. There's no way for me to make it illegit, but we'll make sure you have my picks before we get done here today in the pool, plus the big ones. You sound like Danny Fuller. I'm guessing, John, if Danny Fuller sounds like you, I will be the most shocked man on the face of the earth. I swear to God. I mean, he's from another country, remember. Week 0 was just that zero excitement. Better than most. Better. I found the Hawaii, I don't know. I had some, I enjoyed the Hawaii-Stanford game. I don't know why. I don't think I was able to get the UNLV game. I tried to find it a couple times and couldn't. The Iowa State-Kansas State game was pretty sloppy. The weather was sloppy. The field isn't even done right. The lines were erased. If we're going to go overseas and play football, I don't care if it's the NFL, college football, whatever it is, can we at least keep the stadium so you can see what the hell's going on? Stanford, very sad looking. Andrew Luck looked like he wanted to cry at the end. Andrew Luck always looks like he wants to cry. And good for Hawaii. Michael Chang is Michael Chang. What's his name? Jeez, I'm having trouble tonight. Maybe I shouldn't retire. By the way, 2 days and counting, guys. We're done. Out. Takey outie. 2 days. Might as well be out now. You know, John, I'll tell you, I like the Canes this week. They're getting 2.5, I believe. It's depending on the pools or I should say the source you're looking at. They're getting 2.5 at home. Notre Dame's going to be really good. I think Miami's going to be really good. I think a lot depends, interestingly enough, on a very experienced quarterback and a very inexperienced quarterback. CJ Carr taking over at Notre Dame, given the job by Marcus Freeman, who I think has done a tremendous job at Notre Dame. CJ Carr, Lloyd Carr's grandson, I believe. And the Canes, everything rests on the right arm of Carson Beck. Is it staying attached to his body? Is it worth $4 million investment? It's time for Marco Cristobal to piss or get off the pot. Or the other thing. I like Miami here, too. I don't think I would bet the game. I'm not sure if I'll bet any of these big 3 games. I do like Texas getting points at Ohio State. Again, 2 unproven quarterbacks. We've seen Arch Manning play. We haven't really seen Slayan play. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do. And the other big game, Clemson at LSU, I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to lay the points. I'm either laying the points with Clemson or I'm not betting it at all. As far as betting goes, I got to make a pick probably in our ESPN Pick'em squad, but we'll go through those in a little bit. I did see another interesting question on the Athletic today that I want to throw out there too about who's on your Mount Rushmore of football media. I agree 100% with the guys they came up with. Yeah, John's a Miami fan like myself. We'll get into Miami garb. Still a little warm for long sleeves. Well, we'll get into Miami garb soon enough for this show. By the way, University of Delaware finally moves to D1. Good call, Neil Bush. That's an interesting move up. It seems every year. The teams that have moved up recently, James Madison, Sam Houston, although they didn't play well against Western Kentucky last week. Sam Houston's done very well. Trying to think, there's a couple. Old Dominion, I think, has held their own, moving up to Division I over the last several years. And your South Carolina Gamecocks, I'm going to tell you something. That is a team to watch in the Southeast Conference this year. Neil, I don't know if you're watching it. I'm assuming maybe you have. If you haven't, guys, I got a new show. All or Nothing is something that started out on Prime with some NFL teams. They followed Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, maybe, I don't know, 8 years ago. But they've done soccer teams, NFL teams, and they cover the whole season. It's now on Netflix, and it's covering the SEC, last year's SEC season. Great inside look at a couple of these programs. The teams that have really been keyed on, I've seen in the first 3-4 episodes, are LSU behind the scenes and what went wrong there last year. And South Carolina, a lot of focus on Shane Beamer, who I like a lot. And the way he kept that team together last year and made that run they made at the end of the year. If you ever want watching it, Neil, watch it. It's really good. It's not all South Carolina, right? It's all of the SEC. You're going to see some other teams. I think I said American Conference, and they dropped the All-American or whatever the other A was. American Athletics. I got American Conference here, but I don't think they want to be AA. That's my conference, Danny. Canes in football, UCLA in basketball. Now you're talking Danny's language with the folk basketball. Of course, I'm sure he'll tell you Mitch Cronin should be fired right now. Here's the thing, John, and I'll bring this up about Miami. They're ranked 10th, 13th, 11th, wherever you want, whatever poll you want to look at. The poll we use right now is the AP poll until we have a playoff ranking poll. And I think they're 10th, if I'm not mistaken, in that can't be right. I'm pulling up the basketball rankings because you guys are talking about basketball. In the AP poll, I believe Miami's 10th, and they are. They're 10th in the coaches poll too. So, Denny or John, my question is this: if Miami doesn't win the ACC championship, if they don't get to the championship game, let's say, let me ask this a different way: where is the point where Marco Cristobal will not continue as a coach? Is there a point? I think there is. So is it college football playoff? Because national championship is certainly too much of a reach. Is it college football playoff? Is it ACC championship game or champion or championship game? That's two different levels. Can he survive just going, 10-3, losing a championship game? Can he survive going, I don't know, 10-3 and winning a bowl game outside of the college football playoff? Can he survive an 8-4 season? I think I had this team going 9-3. I've got him in the playoff. I think I had him going 9-3 or 10-3. I'm not going to have a lot of time to dive into schedules tonight. If we do, we will. But is there a point where Marco Cristobal will lose his job this year? Well, next year. Alan likes the Orange to at least cover against Tennessee. Maybe an upset. Syracuse is not very good, Alan. I'll tell you right now. What is that game? Games, it's a neutral field, I think, too, right? Yeah, they're playing in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, 10.5. Here's what I would do. Take the over in that game, 51.5. I think Syracuse is not very good. I don't think they've done a good job of replacing Kyle McCord. They've got some good wide receivers, though. The defense still shaky. I like Fran Brown. Isn't it Fran Brown? I think is the coach's name. I like what he's done. I like the way he's, rebuilt the culture of this program. Former Georgia assistant. I just don't think this is going to be a very good year for a team that had a great year last year for Syracuse. Big upset win against Miami at home to end their season, their regular season, and really end Miami's playoff hopes. I'm just not sure that they're going to. If I was going to bet this game, and I don't think I will, and it might be on our card, I'm not sure. And our cards are only straight up winners. I'll definitely be taking Tennessee. But that's a good, it's a good spot for an upset if you're going to look for an upset. We'll look at the whole top 25 in a second. John Gonzalez, boom on UCLA Bruins. As I said, you come out and I'll take care of you at Pauley Pavilion games, no lie. Well, what about your boy here? I know you take care of me, Danny. Timmy Chang, thank you so much. Everyone in the home, enjoy the White Stanford. Don't listen to what Scott tells you. Timmy Chang, thank you, Michael. What I call it, say Tommy. Was Tommy Chang? Oh, Michael Chang was a tennis player. Did I say Michael Chang? Coach Kermit the Frog's favorite team. Michael Chang tennis. I did say Michael, didn't I? That's too funny. I swear to God, nothing but water, man. Timmy Chang, Michael Chang. I swear I'm getting worse with names as I get older. I used to laugh at people. Not anymore. John's going to leave me another message later. Thank you so much. Keep it clean, William. My wife might be listening. We'll see the draft order in a little bit, but Beck will be the next Bernie Kosar. I think I'd rather he be the next. I'm trying to think one of the guys who didn't make it in the pros who won championships. Right? Who's the guy? Who's the Italian guy that won a national championship? Not Testaverde. Yeah, names are becoming a bigger and bigger problem for me off the top of my head. We'll be busy with the great Texas high school football opening Friday night. However, I'll be keeping an eye on Auburn and Baylor. I got to tell you, I think Auburn's got, and Auburn, there's a pretty good focus on Auburn last year, too, in this All or Nothing docuseries. I think Auburn will be better than you think this year. I think Hugh Freeze will save his job. I do not think they're going to be a contender in the SEC, but I do think he'll save his job this year. LSU team over LSU. So just because, Neil? Are you my new John DeLong just because it's the SEC over the ACC? Clemson, here's the thing. James Martin will hate me. I said it on the Unprofessional Professional show a little while ago. I love saying that. This team has underperformed 2 years in a row under Coach Kelly. They haven't won an opener in the whole time he's been there. 2 years. Their defense comes up small in big situations all the time. They lose to teams they shouldn't lose to. They're going to one of the toughest places to play in college football. And they're playing a team with a very experienced, good quarterback. So is theirs. So is Nussmeier, by the way. But Klubnik is really good. And maybe Dabo's I don't go into the portal strategy works for this 1 year because he's got a very veteran, experienced squad who played pretty good football a lot of last year. I like Clemson a lot this year. I think Clemson will be one of the top 4 seeds in this playoff. And I think they win this game outright. Well, they're not dogs, so they're going to win and cover. About that. LSU is a good football team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a big Brian Kelly fan. I have watched his teams underperform in big spots over and over and over again. At Notre Dame, I can't talk about Cincinnati because when he had his biggest game, he left for Notre Dame and didn't coach. Maybe a whole grudge. I don't know. But yes, he doesn't win. His teams don't win big games. I'm sorry, he's not as bad as James Franklin, but he's close. LSU is more talented than their record the last 2 years. Who's that fall on? Head coach. John's loving it. Something. Temple will be improved. There you go. Casey Keeler's a really good coach. I'll give you that much, yes. Really good coach. I wouldn't call Temple a sleeping giant, but they'll be better. There won't be anybody's pushover. After a while, there'll be some growing pains there, I think. We have a school here in Oklahoma where that may be moving up to FCS 1 soon. What is that? UCI. I need some help. I was surprised. I thought the Titans would keep Respecto. I thought Strepo. He had a really good preseason. I thought at least he had one good preseason game at least that I had noticed. I think he'll get picked up somewhere. Listen, I'd love to see the Patriots pick him up and put him on their practice squad, if nothing else. They released 2 of their receivers today, and he is the epitome. Although they already got one short, slow white guy who makes those catches that they've kept in. Crap. The names again. Oh God, undrafted, by the way. Claimed by my boy Mark already. Oh, there, Efton Chisholm III. Excuse me. How do you forget Efton Chisholm III? So anyway, I know for Respecto, I can never say his name either. Good, he's a good player, man. I'll tell you right now. Did I miss any of these? I think I did. Sorry. Michael said football media, if including a pro, would be Sable. No, we're only including college. My bad. So this was a college football Mount Rushmore. And I'll tell you who was on it, and I agree with him. I think I forgot this. So Coach Corso, who, by the way, tomorrow's his finale. It's going to be very emotional. I know it is. I guarantee you Kirk Herbstreit cries. Love both of these guys. Corso and Kirk together for the last 3 decades has been amazing. Must watch TV on Saturday morning. If you don't agree, I feel bad. Anyway, Lee Corso, without a doubt. Keith Jackson. Brett Musburger. And lastly is oh my God. Isn't that terrible? Help me out. CBS announcer. SEC Saturday afternoon with Gary Danielson. It'll come to me. Did a lot of golf, but he's known for his college football on Saturday afternoons. Isn't this terrible? Just retired a couple years ago. Somebody bail me out here, would you please? I'll find it. I can't believe I'm going to kick myself in the head. Vern Lundquist. Jesus. I'm getting a little scared some days, I'll tell you. I skipped right to that. Sorry, I got that already. We talked about him. Marco is on the hot seat. He does have a great quarterback. If he's healthy, we still don't know. He didn't throw in the spring. He didn't throw until, just a few weeks ago, really, John. So Saturday night's going to be an interesting test for him. The draft room should be opening up, by the way, for you guys getting in the draft. You can find out where you're drafting. And if I can't get in here, I'm going to have a problem because I'm going to have to. Draft room's almost ready. Draft will start soon. 10 teams. Shoot. That's I got myself in a freaking mock draft. I don't want that. Here we go. Hold on. Can I enter the draft? I can. Got to get this ready so I can run upstairs with the iPad once this is ready to go. Keith is picking. Who's the headless horseman? Got the first pick. You got a long ways back, my friend. I don't pick till it looks like, geez. Pick 12th. I got the 12th pick. We can go to 8:30. Canes 11-1. Let me take a quick look, John. I think I had them 10-2. Let's go through the schedule real quick because I don't think I've done this with you yet. So let's do it since we're both here and both fans. This Notre Dame game is going to be very tough, but I got them winning it. That could be the second loss I had, though. I flip-flop on this game a lot. Bethune-Cookman's obviously a win. South Florida's a win. They got all Florida. They got Florida at home, so I think that's an easy win. Florida State, Mike Norvell's on one of the hottest seats in the country. Louisville is at home, so I like them winning that game. Stanford, they got at home. SMU is going to be tough. Syracuse a win. North Carolina State's a win. Virginia Tech's a win. Pittsburgh's a win. I want to know where your loss is. I'm going to say your loss is, well, you got them winning Saturday night. I might have had this team 11-1 now that I think about it. And Notre Dame might have been the loss. I think at SMU they could lose. That's where I kind of go 10-2, 11-1, depending on what happens. And by the way, if they beat Notre Dame, an undefeated season's in play. Again, depending on Carson Beck's arm. Bring back the convicts. I'll take your convicts. It's okay. Tennessee smacks. I kind of agree, sadly. I checked the cards and they're ready to pick now for college. Where'd you end up, Danny? Man, I'll tell you, I don't mind 12 so much. 16 teams, it's a long ways back to that number one pick. Joe Chang. Gino Toretta, thank you. How about Michigan? I'm going to give you Michigan. I'll give you my Michigan rundown now, and I got to do some picks before we get to run out of show too much today. Let's give you Michigan's. I'll give you my prediction on Michigan's season right now. Let me get to them here. Big Ten. All right, you ready? New Mexico win at Oklahoma. I think I did this already. At Oklahoma. I got a loss for you there. Sorry. One loss. Central Michigan's a win. At Nebraska, loser. Nebraska is my sleeper dark horse. Gets to the playoff. Contender in the Big Ten. That's a loss. That's two losses. Beat Wisconsin. At USC's a loss. That's three. Beat Washington. Beat Michigan State. Beat Purdue. Beat Northwestern. Beat Maryland. And really the only game that matters, against Ohio State, you win. 9-3. Did I have three losses for you? 1, 2, 3. Not a bad season. Mr. Underwood and Coach Moore. Gino Toretta, thank you so much. I say that Italian guy. I tell my wife this all the time. You know, that actor was in all those movies. We do have a pick'em group. Let me put it in. If you want, Carlos, I'll put them both. I think you asked me, didn't I? Didn't you? I'll put any of you guys, John Gonzalez, who's not in my pick'ems. I'll put the oh, geez. How did I get into the wrong thing again? I'm going to put the link to the college football pick'em here today. In fact, I'll put both of them in here, the pro football and the college football. It's just a little slow loading up here, and I'll get those in here in a second. Bear with me. College football. Here's the college football one. Boy, my internet is bad tonight. That's probably why it looked to me like I was buffering earlier. Get back to your comments. I got to make some picks here, people. Oh, Carlos, I'll put it in the comments. Don't go away. GQ types faster. The only way Freeze will save his job is he benches Jackson Arnold. Again, don't be a. Here's the thing, Alan. What Jackson Arnold played well for you guys for a little bit last year and then didn't play as well. He was a young quarterback. I think Jackson Arnold will fool you. So, again, it all comes down to quarterback play for these guys anyway. I think Jackson Arnold is better than you think. And you've probably seen him play more than I have, quite frankly. By the time you get to take my take, it'll be 30 minutes before the draft and check time on draft order. Your pick? Restepo is on the Titans practice squad. He was signed this morning. There you go. Thank you, Alan. Good news for him. Thank you, guys. Vern Lundquist, thank you. I always got you guys helping me out. Schenkel, good one. John going back in time. I could put Chris Schenkel on there. I hate taking Lee Corso off because, geez, he's been the face of college football basically for 30 years now. Schenkel was the early face of college football, even before Keith Jackson, for sure. So, I wouldn't argue with Chris Schenkel. You know another guy I wouldn't argue with? Beano Cook, for those who remember Beano Cook. That's Tanner at 1. Oh, it's Tanner at 1. And you're at 2. You guys pick and no, take a nap. Michigan fan here. 9-3. I got him 9-3. I got you beaten. I've got you beating Oklahoma, Ohio State at home, but losing at Oklahoma, at Nebraska, and at USC. Can live with 9-3 for the Wolverines. I think Nebraska is going to be a surprise this year. I know I got beat up. I said the same thing last year. I get myself beat up again. There we go. We're having a little trouble getting the link here. All right, so here comes. Oh Jesus, what the hell's going on here? Yeah. Hold on, guys. You can ignore this. I got something weird going on here with my comment thing here. All right, let's try this again. Jesus. It's something pushing down on one of the buttons. All right, so here comes that's going to be the link for the pick'em, the college pick'em, which we're going to do our picks in just a second here, so bear with me. And let me do the pro one too, so anybody in this conversation, you still got 2 weeks to get in. I'll share. Actually, I'll do it. The internet is a little slow. I don't know why it's so slow here tonight. So that's a college football pick'em. Here comes the pro football one. So, guys, if you're not in, I know a lot of you are. John Gonzalez, please get in. And, John, let me know how you're doing yours again. If you're doing it manually again, let me know, and I'll certainly want to do the picks in your pick'em as well. I'm going to go through. Let me see. I missed some comments. Let me see if I can get caught up on comments here. John had one, I think, that came up in the middle of my. Bud Wilkinson, that's another good one. Keith Jackson made all these guys look better, though. Bud Wilkinson, Eric Parsegian, if you remember. Frank Broyles. Made them all look better. I'm going to do my picks. These are my picks. We'll go through the whole top 25. So anything that's not included in the picks I make in the ESPN Pick'em pool, which I hope you guys will get in. Again, the college football one, you might want to get in this week or you'll be behind. Here go my picks right now, just so we're all on the level and you go back and look. I will take Texas over Ohio State, probably the game of the day. Lee Corso's final game day appearance tomorrow morning. I'm so happy I'm going to be here. I'm going to the Yankee game next Saturday, so I wouldn't be here. So I'm very happy that these weekends worked out well. I like Texas. I think Arch Manning is a real deal. We don't know. It's all guesswork. Ohio State lost 14 guys to the NFL. We don't know whether they're going to replace them the way Georgia did or maybe the way TCU and some other teams replace a lot of really good players off of a good team. I sense Ohio State will be a good team. I sense Texas will be better. Northwestern at Tulane. I'm going to take the Green Wave at home, the American Conference favorite. I think along with South Florida, I'll take them over the Wildcats, who'll be better than you think, but I think they lose to Tulane in this game. UTEP will play at Utah State. I'll take Rocco Mendenhall at home in his debut with Utah State. Rocco Mendenhall, very successful coach at BYU, somewhat successful at Virginia, and left, I believe, New Mexico after 1 year to take this Utah State gig. LSU goes to Death Valley, the other Death Valley, Clemson. This game will be a pick 'em, if I'm not mistaken. No, they don't give me the points here, do they? I forget. We'll have to look on the other one. But I like Clemson to win this game at home. Dabo Swinney, I think, is ready to jump back into the elite of college football. Most schools would like to have a down period the way that Clemson has had the last 3-4 years. Georgia Southern will travel to Fresno State. Played horribly, Fresno State did last week against a really good, underrated Kansas team. I'll take Fresno State at home. Hawaii Rainbow Warriors with a big win over a putrid Stanford team in my mind. We'll go to Arizona. Traveling is tough for Hawaii. I'll take Arizona in this game, although this might be a broken windshield game. Surprised this is in the picks. Cal will play at Oregon, former Pac-12 members, now ACC again to be Pac-12. I guess still Pac-12 technically. I'll take Oregon State in this game at home. Utah against UCLA. Everybody knows how I feel about Kyle Whittingham. Really, really good coach. I think Utah rebounds a bit this year. Maybe not all the way back, but I think they're good enough to beat the Deshaun Foster team in his second year. Virginia Tech. This is kind of a big year for the Hokies and their coach. But listen, I've been talking up South Carolina and Shane Beamer for years. They disappointed early in the year last year. It looked like he might be on the hot seat. They came back, barely missed out on the college football playoff. You could go back and pick out any one of 4 losses that they had and say if they won that game, they'd have been in the tournament. They're going to be a very tough out in the SEC this year. I'll take South Carolina at home. And lastly, Notre Dame at Miami. Can't pick against the Hurricanes. And total points in Ohio State game, let's just put in 56. All the picks are made. Picks are auto-saved, guys. Make sure at the bottom you see that. All picks are saved. Nobody come and complain. We can't change things after the fact. There's my picks in the pool. We'll go to the schedule in a second. It's 15 minutes till draft time. You can share my voice message on your show. Okay, I'll do that. Should I listen to it first, John? Or should I just play it sight unseen? We'll save it for Sunday's show. Canes, baby. There you go. Let's look at all the top 25, shall we? Because I do have an upset pick there as well. We talked about Boise State and South Florida. This Thursday night. This big weekend kicks off Thursday night with a really underrated game. This is 2 good G5 teams. South Florida's at home. Boise State lost the second best player in the country, but they're still stacked. Mountain West breaking up after this year, including Boise State heading to the Pac-12. How is all that going to play out this year? South Florida's a live dog in this game. Boise State 5.5 on the road. South Florida, if it's in the cigar box, could be a sleeper pick for me. I'll take South Florida plus 5.5 at home. Illinois and Western Illinois. Illinois is minus 45. This will not be a bet for me, but Illinois will win this one going away. Texas and Ohio State. Ohio State was 2.5, have dropped a 1.5. I still like Texas because I like Texas to win this game outright. We already talked about it. Syracuse at Tennessee. Tennessee's a 13.5-point favorite. I would like Tennessee minus 13.5. Not sure if it's a bet. Some of these bets are going to have to wait till Saturday. And I'll try to post my bets just so when I talk about them on. I always bet 3 college games in the cigar box, 3 college games, 3 pro games. So this week will be 6, probably 6 college games. We'll see. Maybe 5. Indiana, Old Dominion. Indiana, 23.5-point favorite. I like Indiana easily. Penn State will not lose, certainly to Nevada. They will lose to some top 10 teams this year and top 20 teams. Marshall at Georgia should be no problem for Georgia, although I do predict an off year for Georgia. No playoff. Sorry, Rick. They will get off to an easy start here. Florida State, Alabama. Interesting game. Mike Norvell in a hot seat basically struck out 4 times. Struck out, the golden sombrero, the for whatever in the transfer portal last year, starting with his quarterback. He better have done better this year or he'll be looking for a new job. He starts off with a rough Alabama game at home in Tallahassee. We'll see how that happens. He's getting 13.5 at home. I like Alabama in this game. Iowa State, this is the one to watch. They're a 14.5-point favorite. South Dakota is the 2nd or 3rd ranked team in 1A. And watch out. I'm not picking this game on my card. I'm not going to bet this game. I'll give you an upset to watch. South Dakota is not going to be an easy out. Oregon wins are easy. No line on this game. They're playing Montana State. Illinois State, Oklahoma, there seems to be no line on either. Easy win for Oklahoma. LIU will play Florida, no line. North Dakota plays Kansas State. Kansas State will win big in a big way, I think. A&M and UTSA. This is not Texas A&M's 23.5. I'm not sold on them coming back yet this year. I like UTSA with the points here. Clemson minus 3.5 over LSU. You know where I am there. Michigan 34.5 over New Mexico. Excuse me. Blah. Let's lay the points. Texas Tech no line over Arkansas Bluff. That'll be an easy one. Ole Miss easily over Georgia State. SMU no line over East Texas. They win easy. Arizona State over Northern Arizona. The big one of the big ones, Notre Dame and Miami. I'll take Miami at home, getting 2.5 over the reigning runner-up. South Carolina and Virginia Tech. I'll take South Carolina minus 7.5. This might be a bet. That might be a bet. Let's see what else we got here. South Florida. I like the South Florida as well in that game over Boise State. Off to a great start. Number 16. That's not bad, though, Rick. When you're in a 16-team draft, you really want the number 1 pick where you get 2 of the best 32 players, or go to 16 where you get 2 of the top 17. I'd rather be where you are. I'm at 12. I'd rather be at 16. I mean, outside the fact that you got no shot at the best 4 players or 16 players, you're going to get 2 of the top 17. Don't be sorry. The Patriots jet just left Albany Airport with Kraft and his lawyer. What? What was that about? Real quick, any other games we love? Not 1A. Sorry, 1A is a number 1. I keep saying, I used to say 1A for years for the rest of it. I'm going to look here real quick. Rutgers gets Ohio. That should be an interesting game. Rutgers will be a pretty good favorite. Rutgers be better than you think this year. Bowling Green with Eddie George's first game against Lafayette. Got to like Bowling Green in that game, I would think. Jacksonville, UCF, Scott Frost returning to UCF should be an easy win for them. Delaware, as Neil Bush pointed out, heading to FBS 1A. We'll play Delaware State. Looking for any other decent games we might want to talk about a little bit. Nebraska gets Cincinnati. I like Nebraska. Cincinnati's a 6.5 point dog at home. This is a game where, and Matt Rule in his 4th year has done very well. Did very well at Temple. Nearly went to a playoff with Baylor. I like Nebraska to really surprise us this year. Wisconsin, Luke Fickell, under some duress, gets Miami of Ohio in his opener. Army gets Tarleton State. Wake Forest with, as we said, their new coach, Jake Dickert from Washington State. We'll get Kennesaw State. They should start off with a win. Illinois, really, people expecting a lot out of Illinois. Kansas will win for fun over Wagner. Auburn and Baylor was mentioned earlier. Auburn, a 2.5 point favorite on the road here. This is an interesting game. I won't be touching this game. I do like Auburn to be a surprise this year, though. Georgia Tech and Colorado, interesting non-conference game. I like Georgia Tech on the road here. Colorado lost a lot, as we know. Vegas gets Sam Houston. Be careful, Vegas. Don't sleep. And that is all of the no, it's not all of it. That's just lead up till Saturday, guys. I haven't even reached Saturday. Any more interesting games we like here we haven't talked about? Navy gets VMI. Navy, watch out for Navy and American. I think Tulane, South Florida, Navy. Any one of those teams can win that conference and get to a playoff. How great would it be to see Navy in a playoff? Army's going to be a little bit worse this year. Well, the men we talked about earlier plays in Indiana, but we already talked about that game. Bucknell. Air Force gets Bucknell. We like to talk about the Armed Forces teams. Go for some other. Albany goes to Iowa, gets paid a bunch of money, probably $500,000 to get their asses kicked. Sorry. Virginia, 12.5 point favorite over Coastal Carolina. There's a game to watch out for. Carolina coming off a little bit of a down season. New defensive coordinator. Virginia's supposed to be much better with Tony Elliott this year. He's on a very hot seat there in the ACC. Talked about that game. Guys, if I missed a game that you'd want to talk about a little bit, you can put it up. But I like Utah State, as I said, over UTEP. Talked about that. Oh, so many games. Love it. Loving it. Colorado State, Washington, interesting matchup. TCU, North Carolina, we didn't talk about. Carolina, a 3.5 point favorite dog at home in Bill Belichick's debut. I think they lose. I think Bill Belichick, listen, I've seen analysts rate this team anywhere from 3-9 to 9-3. I'm skewing towards the 3-9 end, and 6-6 to me is a high watermark for this North Carolina team. Michigan will beat Nebraska. A coming argument for us to debate, my friend. We're going to have a little time to see where they stack up. We've got a few weeks of real football to watch, right? Not just, reading about teams in the paper and whatnot. So paper, who the hell reads the paper? Show your age, Keith. That's why I'm retiring in 2 days. Thanks for a great show. All of us do. Have a good draft. Best of luck. Where are you drafted, Michael? We're going to sign off here in a few minutes. Nebraska, Cincinnati's at Arrowhead Stadium. Thank you for pulling that out. Pulling me out on that one. I didn't look at the venue. So basically a neutral field. I like Nebraska. I don't think I'm the only one, which scares me. What didn't I talk about tonight? Alan, you're in the football league. You're picking second, you said, right? So you better get yourself ready. I better get some players queued up here. We're going to wrap it up early, if you guys don't mind. we'll be reviewing a lot of this stuff on Friday morning with Jack on the Jack and Keith weekend playbook. We'll talk about the games on Saturday as well, and some of the games that have already been played up till that point. I guess it'll only be Boise State and South Florida, but Jack and I will make our picks. And then we'll be back on Sunday, and we'll talk about a lot of college football, and we got to make our NFL picks as well, most likely the next 2 Sundays. And again, remember Sunday morning, and I'll be posting on the page, we're going to be starting at 9 a.m. going forward because I'm going to spend a full hour with the guys on the big football show on National Streaming Sports. One of my games to pick was Texas and Ohio State. We'll never pick Texas in anything ever. Oh, come on, Alan. Don't be like that. Alan, I really think we're going to wrap it up, but I really think I feel bad because I think the Sooners and their marriage with their coach is going to end this year. I think I do have them beating Michigan at home. Might be their best win of the year, but I mean, what did I have them? I think 7-5, 8-4. Did 8-4 save his job, Brent Venable? I'm not so sure. But anyway, guys, 7:50. I know it's a short show tonight, and I apologize, but it was my bad because I really didn't pay attention to the time and date of this draft. So it's my fault for having to wrap up early. But we will, I promise, make it up to you at a later date. But guys, have a great week. College Football Huddle. Have a great night. We're off the draft. Bye-bye.